Alright guys, here we are, almost done our minions. Today we are going to do a real working pocket with your choice of initials on it and the arms. Join us, won't you? Hello and welcome to another Mumsy video. Today we are continuing on our path to finish the minions. You see, last time we got everything sewn down, and now we're going to work on the pockets. So you'll need your blue fleece to make a pocket, and we're going to make a real working pocket today. So what we need to do is, for the minion that we're doing, we're going to cut a rectangle where the pocket should be. So that's what I'll do first. We can fix it after the fact here. Doesn't have to be perfect. First do two. We just want a rectangle. You can measure or you can just eyeball it. Doesn't have to be perfect yet. Okay. So we've got a little bit of a large rectangle here. You can see it's quite large and it's not quite a pocket yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to round the edges, the bottom edge, just the bottom edge. Like so. And we want it to fit in that space. Now I want it to be quite big like this, because what we're going to do is fold it down and we're going to sew across that part as well, just to keep the pocket a little nicer at the top, a little more usable. So I'm going to do that. There we go. See, you've got it there. Then we want to fold it down about an inch, and we're going to zigzag across that just to keep it down so that the top of the pocket, or if you'd rather not have the zigzag showing, you could just stitch across in a straight stitch. Okay, we've got the pockets sewn down at the top, along the top there. The next thing we're going to do is work on the lettering. The first part of the pocket has a circle on the minions, so out of black fleece. So we're going to cut kind of a circle. We can measure with the measuring cups again if you'd like, or just free form it. The measuring cups make a good template for this sort of thing, but I like mine a bit oval, so I'd still have to work it a little bit better. But there's one. You've got a circle now, and then the next part is the lettering, but first we are going to stitch the circle down onto our pockets. Now that we've got the circles sewn down, we can do the lettering. Now, if you're doing a traditional minion, the letter is G for Gru. However, when I did it for my kids, I put L's on theirs because both of my children's names start with the letter L. So you can get pretty creative with this one. If you're doing a purple minion, the letter will be M for macho. But because my purple minion was for me, I just put an M for Mumsy, so it worked out perfectly too. So the G You might have to Google it. It's a little bit of a stylized G. There's a G. And we'll do a G for the other one, and then we will stitch it down. Don't stitch the pocket onto the minion quite yet, just the lettering, okay? Now that we've got the lettering sewn down, we can actually sew the pocket into place. So we're going to place it on our minions and pin it in the center there where the pocket goes. And what we're going to do is stitch around the pocket. Don't stitch the top, of course, because you want your pocket to work, but I just zigzag along all of these edges here. Okay? Alright, we've sewn the pocket, and now it's a real working pocket here, which is especially exciting for children, I think. See, my daughter likes to put these bananas right in this pocket because we all know that minions really love bananas. So I always find these bananas in her minion's pocket. And now let's do some arms and hands. For this, you'll need the pattern that I'm going to link in the description for the hand. It'll look something like this. Did you know that minions only have 3 fingers? Really strange. I tried making minions the first time and I thought they had the traditional 4 fingers for a cartoon, and it wasn't working and it wasn't looking right, and it made me nuts until I finally looked it up and found that they have 3 fingers. So if you look at if you print out the pattern, you can print out the pattern for the hand. I'll also have a pattern for the feet on that same page. You'll have to size up or down depending on what size minion you do, but this is the basic shape. And we're going to use 2 pieces of black fleece put together kind of in a square like this. Make sure it's bigger than this. Well, this one's quite right, but anyway, we'll go to the next one here. And what we're going to do, you see how we've got that? We're going to put the 2 pieces together, right sides together, and we're going to use a marking tool and trace our pattern onto one side of the fleece here. White crayon works really well for this, so does chalk. Doesn't have to be perfect because the hands have their own shape anyway. They'll be making expressions and whatever too. So, but basically it'll look something like this. And we're going to pin this down together just so that it doesn't move while we're sewing. And if you do it right sides together like this, then all you have to do is sew along this line that we just made, and that'll make the hand. Then we turn it inside out. When we're done, we'll trim it and turn it inside out. So I think that's the best way to do it. I found if you cut a pattern out of this and then try to sew it, it comes open and the fingers don't quite work out. So the best way to do it is this, so that you have a nice edging around it after. So I'll show you that when I get them sewn. Okay, we've sewn all sorts of bits of hands here. See, we've just traced around where we've marked there. So what we're going to do is give that a little trim, being careful not to cut the seams. So you want it enough so that it has a shape when you turn it inside out, but Not so close that you break the seam. So we'll do that. Trim. And then we'll turn them inside out from this bottom. We left the bottom open just for this. If you have a turning tool, it might help because the wrists are not too big, you know? So it's a little tricky to pull through. See, we've got our little hand there. What we're going to do is stuff. I have my stuffing here. We're going to stuff lightly into each finger. We're going to leave the wrists kind of clear of stuffing. We want that to be flat because we're going to sew the arms on. Anyway, we've got it stuffed like that. See, there's his little hand. And we're going to do that with the other side too, but I will show you how to make the arms. We'll need our yellow fleece again, and basically you just decide how long you want your arm to be. I don't know. The purple guys are a little bit longer than the yellow guys, because they're kind of more, I don't know what that is, like more gorilla-like, I guess. So they've got a bit longer arms. So you cut two rectangles out. And what we're going to do is just fold them right sides together and stitch down the long end. So then we'll put our mitt in there, our glove in there, and you'll have an arm. That's about as long as I want it. You can also adjust when we insert it into our minions. You can adjust the length as to what you'd like as well, so they're not, you know, rubbing against the ground or something. But basically that's what we'll do, is we'll sew along here and I'll show you the next step. Okay, I've got a series of hands here for our minions, and I've done the tubes for the arms. We've just sewn along the long edge there. So what we're going to do is again turn these inside or right side out. And the reason I didn't get you to fill the wrist part is because we are going to slip the tube of the arm over top here of the wrist. It doesn't matter if it doesn't fit quite right, we can just kind of shove it in there. I like to have the line for the tube at the back of the hand, like so. We're going to pin that, and what we're going to do is just zigzag stitch all the way down, making sure to catch that wrist in there so that none of the stuffing comes out. Everything is sewn in properly. Now we've got a bunch of little wobbly minion arms here. Isn't this fun? So we've sewn that. I just ended up doing a straight stitch. My machine didn't like to go through the 4 layers of fleece, so it was easier to do a straight stitch than it was to do a zigzag. So the next step is to stuff these very lightly and not all the way to the top. So we're going to take some of this stuffing and kind of put, there we go. And how we're going to place these arms is, you've seen our little armhole here. What we're going to do Just very carefully, closer to the top than the bottom. I'm going to put a little slit in there. We're going to actually cut into here, make a hole. Okay, big enough for this arm to fit through. And then we are going to put our arm in. And on the back, I'm just going to sew around this to make it close. And now we've got our funny little minion's arm sewn in. So I think I'll end the video here, and next time we will do the top and bottom, the hair and the feet, and stuff them all together and we'll be done. Isn't that exciting? So if you're still following along, like, subscribe, click the bell. That will let you know when the next video is coming out and we can finish this guy right away. Yeah, bye-bye for now.